Hello, Samurai. Welcome to Sword of Wisdom, a place where we strengthen our spirits, build confidence, and live by the principles of honor. We have a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers by 2025. Your support is what makes us stronger, so make sure to subscribe and join us on this journey. Today's topic is fear. It can paralyze us, strip away our confidence, and hold us back from moving forward. But there's a way to make it disappear forever. In this video, we'll explore how to overcome fear using the wisdom of the samurai and proven psychological techniques. Ready to break free from what's holding you back? Let's get started. Understanding the nature of fear. Fear is one of the oldest and most powerful emotions, built into us by nature. It's a defense mechanism that helps us avoid danger, protect our lives, and survive in threatening situations. But in today's world, fear has become more of an enemy than an ally. We no longer run from wild animals or hide from storms in caves. Instead, our fears are often born in our minds, not in the external world. Most of the time, fear isn't a real threat, but a product of our own thoughts, doubts, and expectations. We fear what might happen, even though the chances are slim. Our brains paint grim scenarios that rarely come true. Yet these fantasies paralyze us and stop us from taking actions that could lead to success. Think about how many times you've said no to something important, just because you were afraid of failure. How many opportunities have slipped by because you feared looking foolish or being judged? The truth is, fear doesn't protect us from trouble, it only makes us prisoners of our own insecurities. Samurai wisdom. Fear is a choice. The samurai, legendary warriors of the past, lived in a world of constant danger. Every day, they faced the threat of death, but their philosophy left no room for fear. One of their principles was, "He who fears death dies every day." What does this mean? If you let fear rule your life, you'll relive the pain and anxiety it causes over and over again. You'll hesitate to make decisions, take steps, or try new things. Fear won't stop bad things from happening, but it will stop you from truly living. The samurai learned to live with the awareness of danger but didn't let it control their thoughts. They accepted fear as an inevitable part of life, but acted in spite of it. To them, fear was not an enemy but a teacher that showed them where they needed to grow stronger. A question for you. What are you afraid of? Now, I want to ask you a simple but important question. What are you afraid of? Close your eyes and think about it. Is it the fear of failure? The fear of judgment? Or maybe you're afraid of losing something valuable? Now ask yourself, is this fear a real threat? Or is it just an illusion? Think about how many times you feared something that never actually happened. Maybe you were afraid of failing, but you succeeded instead. Or perhaps you were too scared to try, only to regret missing the chance later. Most fears are just shadows that disappear the moment you take the first step. It's up to you to decide whether to let these shadows rule you, or use them as a stepping stone to move forward. Understanding the nature of fear is the first step toward overcoming it. When you realize that fear lives only in your mind, you gain power over it. Remember, you don't have to live in its shadow. Follow the example of the samurai. Face your fears head-on and take action. That's the only way to conquer them and become stronger. So, think about it. Do you want to live controlled by fear? Or are you ready to overcome it and unlock a new level of freedom? Let's face it together. Samurai. Why fear holds us back? Why fear holds us back? Fear is one of the most destructive forces in our lives. It often starts subtly as mild anxiety or doubt, but if left unchecked, it can begin to control our behavior, thoughts, and decisions. Eventually, fear becomes chains that keep us from moving forward. The effects of fear paralyzes action. Fear often stops us from taking actions that could improve our lives. We hesitate, delay, or even give up entirely because we're afraid of making a mistake. Imagine someone who wants to change jobs but fears failure. They stay in a place that makes them miserable, even though a better opportunity might be just one decision away. Fear leads to inaction, and inaction keeps dreams out of reach. erodes confidence. Fear destroys our self-confidence. When we're afraid, we doubt our abilities, even when we have every reason to succeed. Fear creates false scenarios in our minds. What if they don't understand me? What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? These thoughts damage our self-esteem, making us feel weak and unworthy. Prevents growth. Fear is the greatest enemy of personal growth. Every time we avoid a challenge because of fear, we miss an opportunity to become stronger, smarter, or better. Real growth always happens outside of our comfort zone. Yet fear tells us, stay where it's safe. As a result, we choose comfort over growth, stagnating instead of advancing. A metaphor. The chains of fear. Fear is like chains holding you in place, while the world moves forward. Picture a ship tied to a dock. It has everything it needs to sail, sails, crew, supplies, but it stays moored because someone is too afraid to lift the anchor. Likewise, fear keeps us stationary. The sea of opportunities is right in front of us, but fear takes away the freedom to explore. While others move forward, succeed, and grow stronger, fear keeps us stuck. Long-term consequences of fear. Let's look at how fear impacts life over time. Missed opportunities. Fear of risk leads us to miss out on chances that could have transformed our lives. Feelings of dissatisfaction. Avoiding action out of fear leaves us feeling unfulfilled, as though we're not living life to the fullest. Regression instead of progression. While we stand still, others move ahead, widening the gap between us. How fear affects relationships. Fear doesn't just hold us back personally, it also damages our relationships. For example, the fear of rejection can make us avoid forming connections. The fear of conflict prevents honest communication, causing issues to pile up over time. In the end, fear not only hinders our growth, but also limits our ability to build healthy relationships. Fear isn't an external enemy, it's a barrier we create in our minds. If you let fear control your life, you'll remain stuck while the world moves forward. The good news is that fear can be overcome. Recognizing how it holds you back is the first step toward freedom. You must learn to release these chains and take steps forward despite your doubts. Remember, it's better to try and fail than to never try at all. By facing your fears, you'll unlock your true potential and build the life you've always dreamed of. Methods to overcome fear. Fear is part of human nature, but it's important to understand that it doesn't have to control you. You can free yourself from fear by taking deliberate, consistent action. Here are 5 effective methods to overcome fear and move forward. Step 1. Accept fear. The first thing to do is recognize that fear is a normal reaction. It doesn't make you weak or a failure. Accept it as a signal that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Allow yourself to feel fear, but don't let it overpower you. Remind yourself, yes, I'm afraid, but I'm doing this anyway. When you acknowledge fear, it loses its power over you. Step 2. Use breathing techniques. When fear takes over, your breathing becomes rapid and shallow, increasing stress. By controlling your breath, you can regain control of the situation. Try this simple technique. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold your breath for 4 counts. Exhale slowly for 8 counts. Repeat this 3 to 5 times. This practice calms your mind, reduces tension, and helps you focus on the task at hand. Step 3. Visualize victory. Your mind doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. Use this to your advantage. Close your eyes and picture yourself as strong, confident, and fearless. What would you do if fear didn't exist? Visualize yourself succeeding in the situation that frightens you. This practice programs your mind for success and strengthens your belief in yourself. Step 4. Take small steps. Fear often arises because we perceive a challenge as too big. The solution is to break it into smaller, manageable steps. Start with something that scares you, but in small doses. For instance, if you're afraid of public speaking, begin by talking to one person. Gradually increase the difficulty, and you'll see fear diminish over time. Each small achievement boosts your confidence and weakens fear's grip on you. Step 5. Focus on your goal. When fear tries to stop you, Remind yourself why you started. Samurai always pursued their purpose, ignoring fear. For them, what mattered wasn't how they felt but who they wanted to become. Keep your goal in mind. Remind yourself that fear is just an obstacle, not a wall. Your purpose is always more important than your fear.
Subscribe to our channel. Are you ready to become the best version of yourself? On our channel, we share samurai techniques and lessons that will help you develop your charisma, confidence, and inner strength. If you're looking for real self-development tools and striving for personal growth, you'll find exactly what you need here. By developing your thinking and choosing quality content, you not only become a more interesting person, but also create an aura around you that attracts people. Knowing how to attract others starts with working on yourself, and that work never ends. Every day is an opportunity to become a better person, and your efforts will be noticed.